welcome to the Student Success Stories podcast, the podcast where we spotlight academic success at Baylor. This season, we're going to spend time hearing from students about their personal experiences with different student resources around campus. This season, we really want to focus on different resources from the student perspective. To kick off the latest season, we have Ani joining us to talk about the Academic Resiliency Department. Ani shares her success story with us, where she takes on a total academic transformation with a lot of hard work, dedication, and a little help from the Academic Resiliency Department at Baylor. Stay tuned for this and much more. Welcome to the Student Success Stories podcast. We're here with Ani. Do you want to start by introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Ani. I'm a junior here at Baylor. I'm a transfer student, actually, so I transferred in to Baylor in 2020. I'm an audiology major, and I'm really excited to be a part of that. I'm from San Diego, California, so a little bit better weather over there, but yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's really nice. How'd you hear about the Academic Resiliency Program?
Well, I actually was forced to be in the program because my first semester here at Baylor was a little bit of a difficult time and transition for me because of COVID, because of, coming from a smaller area and coming to a big university for the first time. I struggled my first semester and I didn't do as well as I wanted to. And at the end of the first semester, fall 2020, I was put on academic probation for the spring 2021 term, that whole entire term. Mm-hmm. And they put me in the strategic learning class, and it really helped. And the academic resiliency program showed me that in order to be a good student, you have to want to be a good student.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Did you feel like a lot of that difficulty came because you were a transfer student?
Absolutely. And I came from a smaller community college in San Diego. Mm-hmm. And coming to a huge university and not knowing anybody, because everybody knows each other their freshman year, through the Baylor line, through living in the dorms, you become more accustomed to the college life. And I didn't have any of that because I was living at home. Mm-hmm. And because I was living at home, I didn't really have that huge college experience that most kids get right after they leave high school. So I had to learn how to do all of that, and I had to learn how to do it during COVID.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That is a really insane transition. So in what way did the what is it called, the strategic learning class, how did that help you? What does that look like, actually, first of all?
So basically, they just force you headfirst into doing well in school. And that class is just a class that's designed for students who are struggling in school, who need help with studying, who need tips on how to study. And that class just is designed for everyone to get better at learning, I guess, and to learn how to use their tools, use their classmates, set up office hours with their professors, and really dive right into becoming a better student and a better studier.
So what kind of assignments do they give you in the strategic learning course?
So in that course, there's not a lot of assignments because it's mostly in-class work. And in order to pass that class, you have to show up, you have to be there, and you have to show that you're willing to succeed. And that's why there's not a lot of outside work, because all of your grading is mostly on you being there. But there is one video that Professor Thompson does recommend everyone to watch, and it's called 10 Life Lessons by Admiral McRaven. And he was a former Navy SEAL. And basically, he goes through these life lessons about what in order to be a good student, what it takes. And the first thing that he says, in order to change the world and be a good student, you have to start off by making your bed. And through that whole entire video, it's about 30 minutes long, that video definitely changed my life. And I know it's a little bit cliche to say that a video can change your life, But I definitely recommend watching that one, even if you're not in the strategic learning course or in the academic resiliency department at all.
Before using the academic resiliency department, did you have other methods of improving your academics, like other study methods that didn't really work out?
Before joining, I had no study methods at all. I actually didn't want to do it. And, in order to be a good student, you have to want to be a good student. And I really didn't want to at that time. I was going through a lot with personal issues, and I wasn't showing up to class. I wasn't doing my assignments. I wasn't getting in touch with professors. And then I realized that that's not what I wanted, because when I came from a community college, I did very well in school. I did great in high school. I had 4.0s throughout my whole entire time at college and through high school as well. And then coming through to Baylor, I just completely lost all of that, and I lost a sight of myself as well. But no, I didn't have any drive for anything.
So what made you, change that?
Well, the fact that that you when you get put on academic probation, then the world kind of opens up a little bit. Your eyes kind of open up. You start looking that you're not gonna do the career that you want someday. You're going to most likely get kicked out of school if you don't focus. And that's not what I wanted, because that was never what I wanted for myself. And I've always been a very good student, an A+ student, always been on time, always talking to professors, turning my assignments in. And when I got that email in December of 2020 saying I had been put on academic probation, my whole entire world changed. I had never gotten that email before in my life, and I never wanted to see that email in my inbox ever again.
Yeah, it was kind of like a wake-up call.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I know for a lot of majors, you have to have a 3.0, and if you don't, then you get put on probation. So even if you have like a 2.7 or like a 2.6, which is, perfectly fine, you would still be on probation. So that is pretty shocking and honestly pretty difficult to keep up with.
Yeah, I did so bad my first semester here that my GPA was a 1.3. And that's making myself look very bad. But I was in a 1.3 GPA. I had fallen well below my major GPA and Baylor's required GPA to stay in school. And basically, that probationary email was a warning sign. And it was a look, we think that you can do better, but if you don't turn yourself around in the next semester, you're going to be put on academic suspension. And academic suspension is when Baylor says, look, you have to leave school for a semester, and then we're going to reevaluate you at the end of the semester. And I did not want that. So in May of 2021, this year, I did find out that I received a 4.0 from Baylor. So I am very excited about that.
Congratulations. I mean, you earned it. You definitely earned it.
And we're no longer on probation or anything, so it's good.
Good. I mean, well, that means that the class worked. So that's definitely good. Is there anything that you learned from the program that you still use to this day?
I learned study tips, definitely. Cornell notes, I always hated them in high school, but they're so helpful. Another thing, I keep saying this, but talking to professors, office hours, making sure that you email them when you're confused about something, or making study groups in class. I was very shy my first semester, and I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't even want to speak to my own professors because I was so embarrassed, I guess, about not understanding something, which I think happens with a lot of college students. They're just embarrassed about not understanding, especially being at a university like Baylor. You think that you're supposed to be held to a level of knowledge, and that's just not possible for everyone in every single class. So learning that being embarrassed is not a bad thing, and not knowing something is not a bad thing. You're supposed to not know. That's why we're here. So that's what I learned, and that was very helpful to me.
That's great advice. That's good advice. If you could tell students that are struggling this semester one thing, what would it be?
One thing. just keep going. It's so hard. School is so hard. And I just love throwing out those cliches, but keep going. Just keep swimming. Like, I was supposed to be a junior last year, and they put me as a sophomore. So I actually did 2 sophomore years of school. And now I'm officially declared a junior at Baylor. So I'll be graduating in 2023. But when I found that out, I didn't want to keep going. I wanted to drop out, and then I got put on probation. So I was like, what's the point? But I kept going. I kept my head up high, and now we're here. So I just
Yeah,
think that's the best advice for students right now, especially in this time, in this COVID world.
just keep going. Just keep trying. That's good advice. Well, Ani, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your time and your words of wisdom. Thank you for tuning in to the Student Success Stories podcast. You can listen to our previous episodes on iTunes, or you can find us on Instagram and YouTube at Student Success Stories. Would you like to be featured on the podcast? DM us on Instagram. Thank you for listening, and sick and bears.